Having your images rejected because of noise reduction is one of the most frustrating things about Shutterstock, and let's be honest, in most cases we know the noise is minimal. But don't worry, I have the answer for you today. All you need is your computer and Photoshop. This is an easy to follow tutorial and I guarantee you'll be using this noise reduction technique in all of your future Shutterstock edits. So let's dive straight in. For the purpose of this tutorial, I captured a singular image of a chess piece against a dark background. This is the raw image, and as you can see there's loads of background noise, which is only going to get worse if we were to up the exposure or increase the clarity. To get started, I'm going to right click my image inside of Lightroom and then go to Edit in Photoshop. Inside of Photoshop, what we first need to do is make a copy of our layer by hitting Command J if you're on a Mac or Control J if you're on Windows. I'm going to create 2 copies just so you can see the before and after later. Then we need to make a selection around the chess piece because we only want the noise reduction to be applied to the background layer. This will help you to retain any of the detail in your subject. There are a number of different ways we can do this, but the quickest way is to select the Wand tool by hitting W on your keyboard and then heading up to the toolbar above and clicking Select Subject. Photoshop will analyse your image and in most cases do a pretty good job. At this point it doesn't have to be perfect, this selection looks good enough to me. Now we need to apply a layer mask by clicking this small button in the bottom right hand side of the screen. So what we should have now is 3 layers, our original layer, the background layer and our subject separated with a layer mask. At this point there's one last thing we need to do before we apply any noise reduction, and this is quite an important step. If you do forget this, Shutterstock probably will reject your image. The image I'm working with was captured at f5, so anything within this focal plane should be in focus, which means we need to add back in some of the surface detail. So all I'm going to do is select the mask and then make sure that I have white as my foreground colour and then simply just paint back in some of the detail using the brush tool. Next, with the background layer selected, we're going to open the camera raw filter. The keyboard shortcut for this is Command or Control if you're on Windows, Shift and A. Or you can head up to filter in the bar above and select it from there. Inside of the camera raw editor, expand the detail section, and then we're going to turn the noise reduction all the way up to 100. What it does is it applies smoothing across the whole image and it makes anything with a lot of detail look like plastic. Let's have a look at the before and after. And as you can see, all of that noise has been completely removed. But because we also made a mask of our subject and that's on top of the background layer, we can see that the detail in our subject's been retained while the background has been completely smoothed out and all that noise has disappeared. So I use this in almost all of my Shutterstock images that I'm uploading, and it's very rare that I'll get a rejection due to noise. So what I would recommend is applying this to as many of your images as you can. It's not going to work for everything, some images just have too much detail in them. But if you're capturing studio style photography like me where you're using plain backgrounds, this is probably going to come in quite handy. That's the end of the tutorial. If you're interested in more videos like this, then subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching and have a great day.